Are you planning a Princess cruise in 2025? Well, they made some changes in 2024 you need to know about, and I'm going to walk you through them in this video. I'm going to go all the way from booking your cruise to some hidden gems that you don't want to miss that I'll share with you at the end. The first thing you need to know is you need to book early. The best time to book to get the best price is when they first launch an itinerary, which could be 16 to 20 months before your cruise. That's not always possible, so there are other times it's good to book, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the reason why you want to book early is you will save money, you will get your best choice of cabin, and your itinerary won't sell out. Let me give you one quick example. I booked a sailing, we're going out in May, last June. When I booked it, I paid $2,700. I looked at that sailing again on Black Friday. It was already up to $5,700. So this is what you have to remember. As the inventory goes down, the prices go up. You want to book as early as you can, but a couple good times to think about are Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Those are usually good deals. So here's what you're looking for. What you're looking for are third and fourth guests free. You're also looking for a low deposit. So if you can get a deposit for $100 versus $500, that's pretty good. The next thing you're looking for is onboard credit. And you might even get a cabin upgrade. So looking at Black Friday is a good deal for things like that. Also, New Year's, new wave deals. So the beginning of the year, they have the wave sale. All the different cruise lines are competing to try to get your business. Now think about it, if you get a new itinerary during the wave season, you're probably gonna get a really good price. Black Friday, Cyber Monday isn't just Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's the whole entire month of November. So that is one time that's a good time to book. The other time is the wave sales, which are January, February, and March of every year. Those aren't necessarily your best bets though. Your best bet really is to sign up for emails from whatever cruise line you're interested in, whether it's Princess, Celebrity, whatever you're looking for. Sign up for emails through them. You're gonna get promotions in your inbox almost every day. Well, they often have flash sales. So those flash sales, those are different, and sometimes they have deeper cuts because they're trying to clear inventory, because it's the end of a season, they're trying to close their books. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that as well. Here's your booking strategy. 1, sign up for those cruise line emails and watch for the promotions. This is what's a good promotion. A third and fourth passenger sail free, your cabin upgrades, your onboard credit, and your reduced deposit. When you're booking, if you're not sure about the price, you're concerned about the price, ask your travel agent if they could check, is this a good price? Because they'll know. They'll have a history of what that price was, and they can check other competitors. So that'll be able to help you. If you need a travel agent, I'm gonna leave mine in the description below. It is important to monitor the price after booking by using fare trackers like cruisewatch.com and cruiseline.com. I'll leave links for those also in the description and pinned in the comments. I talked to my travel agent yesterday and I asked him, how does that work? How does it work when you refare? Like if I book something and I got a better price? He said, this is what'll happen. You call your travel agent and they say, okay, so they drop your original booking and then they just move the money and book the new booking. That's a reason not to pay off your cruise until you get close to your final date. That way, if there is any money coming back to you, it'll come back to you as cash and not as onboard credit. When sailing on Princess, the ship does matter. So when you look to book, you're gonna look at price, you're gonna look at itinerary, but don't forget to look at what ship you're on. The older ships are smaller than the newer ships. So the older ships, we sailed last summer on Sapphire Princess from 2004. We just got off Discovery Princess, it's from 2021. The Sapphire Princess had a smaller buffet and it had a smaller scope. Their production shows weren't as grand. And then Discovery Princess, they were quite elaborate. So those are some things to consider when you are booking your cruise. You've booked early, you've chosen your ship. Now, one of the most important decisions is what cabin to choose. So to get the most peaceful and quiet cabin, you want to surround yourself on 5 sides. So here's your cabin. You want to have a cabin above, a cabin below, a cabin to one side, and a cabin to the other. Where's the fifth side? The fifth side is across the hall. So you want to make sure that across the hall from you, when you're looking at the deck plan, that there's another cabin there. That's where you're going to get the most quiet journey. You know, to get cabins on 5 sides. Now you wonder, where's the best place? Is it midship? Is it at the bow? Is it the stern or the back of the ship? Let me give you some tips. So if you are concerned about seasickness, you'll want to be low on the ship and midship. That's the best place, it's the most stable. That's really where you're going to also find most like mobility rooms. They're going to be in the midship. Then you've got the bow. The bow has great views. You're looking out at the ocean. Those are great, though, except the bow does go up and down the most as the cruise, you know, as the ship hits waves. Now, the stern of the boat, it also has great views, and then you might hear engine noise. So there's a little bit to think about with the bow versus the stern. So then you think, okay, because they also give you categories like, okay, mid-aft versus mid-bow. Again, think about yourself. Are you worried about seasickness? If you're worried about seasickness, I would do mid to aft over mid to bow. Now, how about, do you want to be lower on the ship or higher on the ship? If you're lower on the ship, again, the ship is more steady, and then the higher you go, less steady. But the higher you go, the better views. You're set. You've booked early, you've got the right ship, the right cabin. Now, there are some other things to think about, and these include some of the changes that has happened to the Princess Premier package. So I'm going to go over the Princess Premier and the Princess Plus package next. You need to decide, do you need a drink package? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Our last sailing, we did not get one, and we didn't really miss it. But let's talk about what it includes. The 3 biggest benefits of the Princess Plus package are the crew gratuities, the Wi-Fi for 1 device, and up to 15 alcoholic drinks, up to $15. So let's talk about that. Your crew gratuities are $17 to $19 per person per day. Your Wi-Fi is $25 per person per day. So if you think you're gonna drink $18 worth of drinks of any kind, coffee, soda, juices, specialty coffees, regular coffees included, then it's a good deal to get the Princess Plus. That hasn't changed. What has changed is the Princess Premier package. The Princess Premier package is now $90 US per person per day. The biggest addition, it has everything the Princess Plus has, but now you have unlimited alcohol with drinks up to $20. So if you like top shelf liquor or you want the better wines, you might be interested in that. This time you get up to 4 devices per person. That's a lot. If you have more than 1 device, you want running at a time. And then you get unlimited casual and specialty dining. And we're going to talk about that next. That's the biggest change. I have an entire video that compares the Princess Plus and the Premier package, and I will link those in the description below and pin it in a comment. But here's some things just to think about in this video. You need to know about the special casualty restaurants. Not all ships have the same restaurants or the same number of dining options. So for example, on Discovery Princess, they have Gigi's Pizza by Alfredo's, they have O'Malley's, and then they have Ocean View Seafood Bar. On Sapphire Princess, they had the Salty Dog Pub, and they have Alfredo's Pizza. So you can see when you're paying extra and you're thinking, oh, I want to use the specialty dining, there's just not as many choices on Sapphire Princess, which is the older ship, than the Discovery Princess. The biggest change, the biggest difference between Princess Plus and Princess Premier is that unlimited specialty dining. The way Princess Premier used to be, you had 2 specialty dining options. Now that means something for you. We're going to talk about in a minute about booking that specialty dining. But let's go to this. What you need to know is you need to know that depending upon the ship, again, you're going to have different options. On Discovery Princess, you have the Catch by Rudy's, you have Sabatini's, which is their Italian restaurant, and you have the Crown Grill. On Sapphire Princess, they have Sterling Steakhouse, which is again similar to the Crown Grill restaurant, and then they have I don't even know how to say that, but they have a Brazilian grill. So they don't have as many specialty dining options depending upon the ship. The fifth thing you need to know is about dining reservations, both for that specialty dining and for the main dining room. For specialty dining, now that Princess has this unlimited, when they have the premiere, the specialty dining are full. We talked to a maitre d' at Crown Grill when we were on the Discovery Princess, and I asked him, is it more full than ever? He said, it is more full than ever. So if you want the time to eat that you want, make sure you book on the app early. In the main dining room, you also want to make your reservations early. There are 3 different types of dining on Princess. You have traditional dining. That's where you have the same server and the same table every night. So they have an early seating and they have a late seating. They always want to have 2 seatings, and no matter what dining room you're in. So that's for traditional dining. The next type of dining is reservable dining. So the reservable dining, you can reserve every day in the app at different times. So let's just say you have a shore excursion that's going to go late, and you want to reserve a later time. You can have a later time on a particular day. So that's reservable. Now on that one, you don't have the same server and the same table every night, but you're in the same restaurant. Princess has multiple restaurants, at least 3 main dining rooms. They're all the similar decor, a little bit different, and they all have the same menu. And then finally you have the walk-in time. So you can go to one of the restaurants will be for walk-in anytime. So let's just say you don't know what you're going to be doing. You can just walk up and you can be seated for dinner. One thing you do need to know is you need to avoid 5:45 to 7:15. Why? Because you're going to be waiting. They did an early seating and they're going to do a late seating. So if you're at 5:45, you're right in the middle of where somebody is seated and eating. So you want to avoid this time unless you want to wait. The food is good, but I like the entertainment. For me, it's number 1. I love the entertainment on Princess Cruises. There are 2 production shows every night. There's one at 7:30 and one at 9:30. What do you need to know? What do you need to know about all the entertainment? That's your number 6. What you need to know for the production shows is you need to get there a half an hour earlier if you're there with a big group, or if there's just a couple, 15 minutes early is a good idea. If you have that Princess premiere, there are reserved seats. So there's reserved seats, a reserved section for the Princess premiere, and they release those seats 5 minutes before the show. So let's just say you're coming in late. You might hover by the Princess premiere seats and then swoop in when they release the rest of them to anybody. In addition to your production shows, there's trivia, there's game shows, there's live music, and no matter what you want to do, things fill up. You'll want to get there early. In addition to live music, all those things, they also have movies under the stars. What are some tips for movies under the stars? The tip is, again, get there early to get your spot. You want it like the mid, so you get the best view of the screen. Here's some things to know. You can get popcorn, snacks, drinks, and if you have, we're going to talk about it in a minute, the Ocean Now app on your phone, they'll deliver the food and the drinks right to where you're sitting. Looking for an example? Noah and I, we're kind of early eaters, early diners, early to bed. So we do dinner at 5:15, and then after dinner, we go to trivia or live music between 6:30 and 7:15. Then we make our way to the main theater show from 7:30 to 8:15, and then we end our evening at the game show at 8:30 to 9:15. The 7th thing you need to know about is the Medallion Technology. For those of you who have cruised before, you've seen these. They are about the size of a quarter, about the size of like an air tag. And this device is how you scan to check in when you get on the ship. It's how they know what your room is. It replaces your cabin card. So you just have this, you can wear it as on your watch, you can get a band for it, you can wear it as a necklace, or I just stick it in my pocket. It comes on a lanyard, so I just keep it on the lanyard in my pocket, and that way I always know where it is. The Medallion works as a key card, meaning that it's how they identify you as you're getting on and off the ship. It's also how they identify you when you're getting a drink at the bar. But what's really neat is when you walk up, they see you and they could say, "Hi, Christy." You're like, "How do you know who I am?" Because your medallion's in your pocket and your face flashes up. Great. So those are two really neat things about it. In addition to that, well, those are just kind of typical things. But the neat things are when you walk up to your cabin, it unlocks the door for you like magic. That's great. And then the other two things is you can order food and drink from the Ocean Now app and they can find you because it's a locator. They know where you are. They'll bring it to you. And then finally, let's just say you're traveling with more than one person or even just one person, you're not with them the entire time. You can locate them on the app. So just this last sailing we were on, I didn't know where Noah was. I looked on the app and I could track him down. You'll want to download the Princess app onto your phone as soon as possible. It's how you check in before you cruise, so you'll need to do that. It's also how you can make reservations to spas, to your restaurants, your excursions. You can do all that on the app, so you'll want to make sure that you get that app as soon as possible. Your room steward is still going to leave a Princess pattern, a printed out sheet of all the events in your room every night. But you know what? I actually really like it on my phone now because I can go through and I can mark the things that I want to do throughout the day. So I can just look while I'm out and about and go, "Oh yeah, we're ready to go to the game show." One of the great parts of the Medallion app is your ability to locate people while you're cruising. And that brings me to what you need to know for number 8, which is when you're sailing with a multi-generational group. Princess offers connecting cabins. So if you are sailing with multi-generations like teenagers or younger kids, you can get a cabin next door. The thing that you need to know is this. When you're booking your cabin, so here's the mom, here's the dad. When they have, let's just say they have teenagers or kids, any kids. The kids need to be, when you book, you have to book an adult with a child in each cabin. So you can't put these two kids in a cabin alone when you're booking. If you do that, then you're gonna have to redo the cabin, and my brother did that and it was not fun. It was not fun getting rid of that cabin, all that. So that's one thing to know. So since we're talking about booking, just a quick tip. So let's just talk about booking your cabins, about the drink package. Let's just say instead of traveling with kids, you have 2 adult groups that are traveling together. Well, let's talk about the drink package. He wants a drink package, she doesn't. She wants the drink package, he doesn't. When you book your cabin, you can do this. You can put the people who both like the drink package in the same cabin and then put the non-drinkers in the other cabin. That's on paper only. They don't have to stay in those cabins. The cruise line doesn't care where you sleep. They just want to know, like, those two both want the drink package. So that's a way to kind of work around the fact that both people in the cabin have to have the drink package. Something to consider when sailing with children. It might be a good idea, instead of getting a family suite, to get a connecting cabin, or maybe like even an inside cabin. It'll give you more space. What do the children do when they're on the cruise with you? There's Camp Discovery for children ages 3 through 17. So the children will have fun doing activities while the adults are doing their own activities throughout the day. One of the great parts of cruising when you have multi-generations is all the options for food. So if you're traveling with teenagers, they can go have a pizza up by the pool deck, or they can eat in a buffet. You may say, hey, we're all gonna get together at dinner for the main dining room, or we're gonna all get together for breakfast. You can pick and choose, but there's so many options to pick and choose. Kids love the food on cruises. Another great part of cruising is that Princess Cruise Line keeps in mind that they have all sorts of people. They have people that are in wheelchairs that want to go on an excursion, and they have teenagers that want to go on an excursion, and they have young kids that want to go on an excursion. So you can look at all those things when you're booking your excursion if you're going with a multi-generational group. That brings us to number 9, which is what you need to know if you have someone you're traveling with, or you are disabled or have mobility issues. Princess does offer a limited number of wheelchair accessible staterooms. Those staterooms, we went into a few, they're cool. They don't have like a regular shower. They have like a bigger shower with like a shower curtain. So it's easy to get in and out of that area. Again, if you are traveling with mobility issues, you want to make sure you book early because those cabins book up. Princess does allow mobility scooters. The one thing is, you cannot park it in the hall. They have to go in your room. So if you're in a regular room, the scooter can't be more than 21 inches wide. And if you're in an accessibility room, it can't be more than 31 inches wide. What I learned researching for this video is that you can talk to Princess and they will help you to rent a wheelchair or a scooter, and I'll be waiting for you when you get to the ship. All the elevators can accommodate wheelchairs and scooters, so you don't have to worry about getting to the different levels of the ship. Princess really wants you to be able to go on a cruise. Here's something I didn't know before researching for this video. They will get you a hospital bed, an oxygen tank, a CPAP machine, if you request it early. So again, book early, request early to get these special accommodations. We talked about all the big things, but now I want to talk about the hidden gems that you're going to find throughout the ship, areas that are peaceful and quiet and not crowded. The newer Royal class ships have a Wakeview pool at the back of the ship that has like an infinity pool that looks out over the ocean. It is beautiful and it is kind of a quiet hidden gem. Another area that's an adults-only area is the retreat. The retreat is an included area of the ship, but really I don't think that many people know about it because when we went there was hardly anyone there. The sanctuary is an adults-only 4-fee area of the ship, and it is a lovely area with loungers and cabanas. The Discovery Princess had a hot tub. It was a really nice place to be and definitely a hidden gem. Another hidden gem is the Skywalker's Lounge. Skywalker's Lounges are located on Grand Class and Caribbean Class ships. They're way up high in the ship and they offer a panoramic view. It is the perfect place to be on your Glacier Bay viewing if you're taking an Alaskan cruise. Now that you know what you need to know for 2025, check out this playlist next where I give you everything else that you need to know about Princess Cruises.